long-term challenges, and the wounds ripped open by Mr. Trump have begun to heal. But the greatest public service Mr. Biden can now perform is to announce that he will not continue to run for re-election. As it stands, the president is engaged in a reckless gamble. There are Democratic leaders better equipped to present clear, compelling, and energetic alternatives to a second Trump presidency. There is no reason for the party to risk the stability and security of the country by forcing voters to choose between Mr. Trump's deficiencies and those of Mr. Biden. It's too big a bet to simply hope Americans will overlook or discount Mr. Biden's age and infirmity that they see with their own eyes.
If the race comes down to a choice between Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden, the sitting president would be this board's unequivocal pick. This is how much of a danger Mr. Trump poses. But given that very danger, the stakes for the country, and the uneven abilities of Mr. Biden, the United States needs a stronger opponent to the presumptive Republican nominee. To make a call for a new Democratic nominee this late in the campaign is a decision not taken lightly, but it reflects the scale and seriousness of Mr. Trump's challenge to the values and institutions of this country and the inadequacy of Mr. Biden to confront him. It should be remembered that Mr. Biden challenged Mr. Trump to this verbal duel. He set the rules, and he insisted on a date months earlier than any previous general election debate. He understood that he needed to address long-standing public concerns about his mental acuity and that he needed to do so as soon as possible. The truth Mr. Biden needs to confront now is that he failed his own test.
Yeah, and that's all just from one newspaper. I mean,
the paper of record.
That I have friends that text me that listen to like Crooked Media, Pod Save America stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, he's lost Pod Save America. I was like, oh no.
I mean, yeah, Pod Save, I don't listen to them anymore. I did like way back in the day, but they've been pretty good on stuff like Israel and stuff like, I don't know if they've like openly said that Biden should step down before this, but it's not really surprising coming from them. And they were some of the loudest ones, at least on Twitter, getting behind this.
Yeah. I don't know if you brought it up, but like The View.
Oh yeah, we get to that.
Okay, yeah. These are people who all admit in their columns that they strongly support Biden over Trump.
Yeah, these aren't Republicans trying to plant seeds of doubt in your minds. These are people who fucking love the Democratic Party and love Joe Biden.
The past 2 days has been people like sending me or others just like establishment Dems being like, ah, shit. Oh, yeah, it's really bad. So, yeah. Again, these are people who would typically very strongly support Biden over Trump. They just don't think Biden has the juice to actually win and serve 4 more years. Instead, he's actually cooked. And
he is Rizless.
It wasn't just the New York Times. Here's Kurt Bardella in the LA Times. I hope Joe Biden runs for president. That was the headline of a column I wrote back in March of 2019. I believed then that at a time when Trump continues to go lower and lower, Biden brings to the national stage the strength, decency, and sense of duty that are sorely needed in our political discourse. 5 years later, duty to country is required of Joe Biden once again. This time, however, the act of duty that is needed is one of tremendous personal sacrifice, something the president is all too familiar with given the personal tragedies he has had to overcome over the years. It will require strength. It will require introspection. It will require him to do something that is against his nature. That act of duty and sacrifice is also one that embodies the very essence of our democratic process, to voluntarily relinquish power. And if he had, look, I wasn't very happy with him running in the first place 4 years ago, but if he had actually committed to what he said he was going to do, which was to be a one-term president.
Okay, well, here's the thing about that. He never publicly claimed that. There was internal discussions in his campaign, which were, of course, leaked and then reported on. And everyone's like, oh, cool, he's going to be a one-term president. Then he came out like a day or so later being like, no, I haven't decided on that at all. But he kind of also left it open. And he did publicly describe himself as a transitional president, whatever the fuck that means. It's whatever you interpret it as, which I think a lot of people interpreted that to mean one-term president.
Yes, he would have left with... He certainly would have driven that legacy down in the past couple months with the way that he's handled Israel and Palestine.
Right.
But getting out of the way would have been the right thing to do as a plan, not riding it into this.
It's, his, like LBJ, terrible foreign policy. Unforgivable in many ways, but pretty solid domestic policy. Impressive in a lot of ways. And I probably have to credit his cabinet and his staff quite a bit for that. But if he were to retire, like, I think his legacy would be fine, mostly. It would be like LBJ, where it's just like,
The big problem here, too, is that, like, whatever you want to say, those words you want to say about America, strongest, first world country, best free world, blah, 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 blah. Is this the person that you think should be leading this country, considering the...
Is this man you want picking up the red phone at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Considering how chaotic the entire world is and how much shit is going on abroad and domestically, I don't have a lot of faith in his ability to lead.
Yeah.
This is what
and again, that's true for both of them.
Yeah,
if we're talking on like a world stage, like neither of these are good for America.
No.
Anyway, more op-eds. Here's Walter Shapiro in the New Republic. After an uninspiring, wavering, hoarse-voiced debate performance in which he constantly failed to halt Donald Trump's torrent of lies, it is time for Biden to face up to the reality of his 81 years. The president, away from his aides and enablers, should ask himself the blunt question: can I save American democracy by beating Trump? The decision is in Biden's hands. It's on his conscience that Trump is likely to be the once and future president. Only Biden, by withdrawing next week, can change that frightening equation. It would be the ultimate self-sacrifice, and it would run against every I'm a fighter instinct in Biden's body, but it is a self-sacrifice that is needed to save the nation from 4 more years of Trump terror.
And here's Jerusalem Dempsey's in the Atlantic. Joe Biden says he ran for president in 2020 because of Charlottesville. He says he ran because he saw the threat Donald Trump posed to the country and the threat he posed to democracy. If Biden truly believes that, he needs to end his re-election campaign. Indeed, dropping out could be the most patriotic gesture of his long career in public service, and every senior Democratic official and leader in the country should be pressuring him to act immediately. Here's Mark Leibovich, also in the Atlantic. President Joe Biden needs to end his campaign. The first presidential debate, held last night, was a disaster. It was clear from the outset that Biden looked old, sounded old, and yes, is in fact very, very old. This has been rumored for a while. Last night it was confirmed. Oh, was it rumored that he was just old? Oh, I'm sorry. No, he looked and sounded like
the
shit.
new 50, yeah.
I met someone months ago that got to meet Biden at one of the various stops. Like, oh, how was he? And their answer was old. And this is a fucking supporter.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, if you've had grandparents, uncles, even parents, like, you know, when they're deteriorating, it's not consistent. It's not across the board. But when you catch them at one of those moments, you're like, fucking Jesus Christ.
This is really sad.
First of all, don't let this person drive a car. Yeah, we need to start making arrangements. Anyway, that's still just a small selection of what seems to be the consensus among people who, for a living, regularly defend Biden.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is just newspaper columns. Not a whole lot of people reading those, if we're being honest. But even the fucking View! The View!
Those ladies at the View!
They want him to drop out.
This is the canary in the coal mine.
Here's Entertainment Weekly. Most of us are in mourning, Sonny Hostin said at the top of Friday morning's episode. And while Joy Behar, also 81, pointed out that Trump lied dozens of times in a nice, clear voice, the co-host still pushed for Biden to give up his spot in the race after playing clips of the current president stumbling over his words and losing his train of thought during Thursday night's matchup. It kind of pains me to say this today, but I think President Biden needs to step down and be replaced if we want to defeat Donald Trump in November, Sarah Haynes said, also urging Democrats to stop twisting the age issue by making excuses for Biden. I think Biden's team saw it coming, she continued. I think that's why they pushed for an earlier debate, so they'd have time to change course if needed. But they've got to act fast. I'd implore those closest to the president to have those very hard conversations they're going to need to have. Not just for political ramifications, for humanity, for integrity, and for his legacy. That's all on the line right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a newspaper column. It's a show your Mima actually watches.
Yep. So as fucked up as this situation is, especially at this stage of the game, it is genuinely refreshing seeing people wake the fuck up to something that we and a lot of other people have felt for a very long time. But will it happen? Can it happen? Who would replace him? Well, on that last question, there's actually several pretty solid answers. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, among others. Not all of our favorite people. I would say that Gavin Newsom at least has the a provable experience of debating Ron DeSantis, another presidential nominee.
Lately, and he was at the debate, lately Gavin has taken a sort of surrogate role.
Yes.
Where he goes on the news to basically translate for Joe Biden and like defend his presidency. He does it so much better than anyone, Joe Biden or anyone in his own administration can.
Out of all of those picks, he is clearly, in my opinion, the best order. Like, maybe not out of all those people the best order, but the best at combating the lies that are coming out of a fire hose.
Silver fox.
Yes, he can.
And I hate him so much.
I don't like him, but he can immediately call people on their bullshit. He would have. I don't know if it's even possible to dog walk Trump, but he would have fucking done something.
Yeah.
He would have said something. He would have shut him up. He wouldn't have just.
Yeah.
Okay, it's my time.
He's a sociopath, but he's our sociopath.
I mean,
not ours, but the Democrats. So anyway, yeah, a lot of those people that we listed and many more, they regularly do a better job defending Biden's presidency than Biden does himself.
Yeah.
There's of course questions of the level of appeal that certain ones would have for your average swing state undecided voter, but that's just some shit that they'd have to figure out. And very quickly.
Yeah. Rapid. Let's go.
But even with a bench of possible replacements, how would this actually work? Well, Biden would have to step down voluntarily.
That's the problem.
The only other possibilities would be a majority of Biden's convention delegates changing their votes. Not going to happen. Or Biden's cabinet invoking the 25th Amendment to have him removed as president.
Not going to happen.
Very unlikely. Neither of these seem like they're in the cards. So it's probably just going to come down to Joe Biden voluntarily stepping down. But will he?
No, of course he won't, at least for now. Apparently he had meetings the day after the debate, and the result of all of those conversations and meetings was, no, I'm fine, leave me alone, I'm running for president.
Yeah.
Barack Obama got up Friday morning and posted to Twitter, bad debate nights happen. Trust me, I know. But this election is still a choice between someone who has fought for ordinary
bad tonight naps happen. Trust me. I know.
folks his entire life and someone who only
Worst Obama impression in your life.
cares about himself. Between someone who tells the truth, who knows right from wrong, and will give it to the American people straight, and someone who lies through his teeth for his own benefit. Last night didn't change that, and it's why so much is at stake in November. Okay, buddy, I get it. Like,
no one's saying that
morally, I think Joe Biden is a better person than Donald Trump. Do I think that the decisions that he makes will be different than Trump's? Yes, of course. This guy ain't it, buddy.
Also, this wasn't just, hey, we all have a bad night. That's why people are freaking out.
This has been, well, it's been coming for a very long time. But anyways, Biden himself was back on the campaign trail, putting this whole idea to rest.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
Oh, good. Great. And yeah, as many pointed out, Biden did seem a whole lot more alive there than he did the night before. Oh, so maybe he's just not a night person. And that does seem to be the case, at least according to White House aides that Axios spoke to.
The past 36 hours showcased two Joe Bidens. The veteran president rallying voters in a swing state, and an 81-year-old man struggling to string thoughts together in a debate. The time of day is important as to which of the two Bidens will appear. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Biden is dependably engaged, and many of his public events in front of cameras are held within those hours. Outside of that time range, or while traveling abroad, Biden is more likely to have verbal miscues and become fatigued, aides told Axios.
Okay.
Interesting. Here's the thing about elderly people who seem to have their shit together during the daylight hours, but seem confused, disoriented, and fatigued at night when the sun goes down. It's what sundowning is. It's called sundowning. It is literally a symptom of dementia. Sometimes one of the earlier signs of it. So Biden's improved performance half a day after the debate. Not really the gotcha that some people are making it out to be.
I am so frustrated with this because look, there's two separate things. Obviously, like the rally stuff is just a pre-written. He knows what he's going to go out there and say.
He's on a teleprompter.
And the debate was him and the display of cognitive issues because you're having to deal with someone having a conversation with you and pushing back on what you're saying or saying lies and you having to respond to them. It is a completely different scenario. He's not. I'm happy that he was fine the next day. For his health reasons, I'm happy he seems to be doing fine. He's not the right person for this job.
Yeah, the president it's a 24-hour job, actually, so.
Oh, well, as long as nothing bad happens between, 4 p.m. and 10 a.m., then, whatever. He'll at least be able to respond verbally. In any case, we should reiterate that despite having very serious problems with Joe Biden, particularly in his foreign policy, we would still take a sundowning Joe Biden over Donald Trump because Trump really does suck that much. And it stands that one of these two men will be president.
Yeah, it's whether you like it or not, whether you vote or not, it's one of these two guys is going to be president.
It's a bullshit position for a country to be in. But them's the breaks. It just seems like if you want to stop Trump from getting another 4 years in office to further mold this country into a fascist hellscape for ordinary people, you should be running a candidate who actually inspires confidence in your average voter. And reminder, your average voter is a fucking idiot. So, yeah, that's where we're at with all of that. And apologies for the timing of this whole debacle, turning Weekly Weird News into a circle jerk of despair over the direction this country's headed. We didn't even get to the Supreme Court stuff that dropped on Friday, but it is also fucking bad.
It is not good.
So we'll cover that early next week. And yeah, it's just like the debate happened after we filmed News Dump, but before you started writing Weekly Weird News. So it's just a weird time frame, but gotta do a video about it. This is a fucking nightmare.
It's fucked up.
So yes, next week we'll have some more on the general vibe that is increasingly seeming like this country and planet are heading full speed into a very bad direction, regardless of how elections go, but we'll have to wait until then.
But yeah, we do still have the headlines half of the show. Hopefully there's still a chance for some actual laughs today.
Yeah.
And not the kind where you're laughing to hold in the tears and the despair.
Yeah.
And listen, even if you didn't necessarily like anything about this episode,
we're gonna need that help.
I know I didn't. If you could please leave a like, that would be great.
Also, yeah, no sponsors, so click the join button for the love of God.
It really helps us out. Maybe drop a comment. If you're feeling generous, become a member for $5 a month.
Click that join button. Support the show so we can keep covering whatever the hell this is.
Yeah. All right, that's enough begging.
Oh, please.
Let's get to the weirdest, wildest headlines from this week from around the world. Starting with
Abe Lincoln wax sculpture melts in brutal DC heat.
Could this be a metaphor for something, anything, everything?
It definitely should be. It definitely should. When something stays out too long and starts melting, it's time to put it away.
The way it melts is great too. Like his head, like
he looks like the guy
he's getting.
It looks like the guy from the old audio ads. It's getting blown back by the speakers.
Yeah,
it's a Maxwell or something like that.
Yeah, I remember the ad.
Yes,
Sound Blaster. Whatever it was. But yeah, this was a sculpture. I was supposed to melt eventually. Like the artist put little candle wicks all over it, and like visitors were encouraged to like light the candle and then blow it out when you leave. But it was supposed to last like several months and not just melt in the fucking unusually.
Well, install it in June.
Yeah, and summer's being hotter than expected. Weird how that happens every summer. Every summer of your life.
Poor Abe Lincoln.
What's that about?
Poor Abe Lincoln's head. Never getting a good fair shake.
No.
It's either leaned back. Well, it's always leaned back. Yeah.
Uneventful evening for police. Oilers fans too heartbroken to riot.
Ah, jeez. Another loss. And to Florida.
Floridans.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, my God. They don't even have snow or ice there.
I'll never forget the first time I went to Canada. It was like after one of the wins from the Lightning in the Stanley Cup, and it was against one of their teams. People did not like me sharing that fact loudly in public. Yeah, well, I think it's funny that you're Canadian sport. You guys can't even win your own championship.
It is always funny when that happens.
Yeah.
Like they can go play hockey on the lake for half the year. And then when a team like the Florida Panthers or the Anaheim Ducks or anyone from like below, it's just, embarrassing.
Also, this is specifically funny because like Oilers fans being too heartbroken to riot is like a direct link to the footage from Florida where no one in Florida gives a shit.
Yeah.
They're rolling by with the Stanley Cup and people are like,
what is that?
What's going on?
We have a hockey team. And I'll be honest, like I feel like this is a Mandela effect for me. I did not know that Florida had a hockey team.
The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers.
I knew about the Lightning, but something about the Panthers, I'm like, what? I'm almost certain I've seen them play in person, but it just like, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's extra embarrassing is...
no one in Florida caring.
Yeah, this is like when America wins at some like cricket, which we did recently against India. And it's just the worst day of their lives, and for us, it's just Tuesday.
Just another day. Oh, I don't think about you at all.
Yeah. In-flight raw dogging, the bizarre new travel trend that's creating a buzz. And no, they're not talking about having sex without a condom, which is fucking raw dogging. That's what when I hear that, that's what I picture. That's not what people are doing on airplanes.
It's different generation, different terminology meanings.
Yeah. They're raw dogging flights by which
it just means doing something like completely natural.
Yeah, just sitting in the chair, not reading, not listening to music, not sleeping, not even eating or taking drinks.
Staring straight
ahead, which is like, I guess, young men, I don't know, this could all be bullshit, but young men on TikTok are trying to one-up each other in their raw dogging abilities.
You're gonna drive yourself nuts.
Some real sicko shit. This is what Ron DeSantis does on flights. Do you want to be like Ron DeSantis?
No, put your fucking headphones on and play a game on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, when I fly, usually I'm just listening to podcasts while staring at the airplane map.
I hate you. I hate everyone that has that fucking map up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like watching a clock.
Well, if I'm listening to a podcast and I'm like, my eyes are open, I just need something to look at.
Look out the window.
So, sometimes I turn off the map and I put on a movie I've already seen with the subtitles.
That's what I do.
So I'm listening to a podcast while watching a movie.
That's what I do.
Some real fucking ADD shit.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, look at me.
And then I'm playing Subway Surfers on my phone and I'm molding shit with magic clay. I have no attention span.
I got my phone out, my Switch out. I got something going on the screen. I'm looking out the window. I am... It's bad.
I'm always in like, either I'm sleeping or I'm in a state on airplanes where I can't, like even reading books, like I get like a page in, it just makes me tired.
Well, I like that.
Not tired enough to fall asleep. I'm like in this middle fucking purgatory zone.
The worst is like getting on a flight and it's like, I doze off for a second or I'm paying attention to something and I look up and I'm like, it seems like we've made some good progress.
No, it's been 2 minutes.
And I see someone who has the fucking flight map on their thing and it's like the remaining time, 5 hours. Get fucked. Turn it off.
I want to know.
No, turn it off.
I want to know exactly how long.
Turn it off. Reach over and turn it off.
Also, and
like close your fucking window blinds when it's daylight.
I also like seeing where we are because I can look out the window. Like the last flight I was on, I just stared at the fucking Ozarks, or not the Ozarks, the ones on the East Coast,
the Appalachians.
Appalachians. And actually, I did also, and when we crossed over the Ozarks, I looked at those too, and they're very cool to look at from the sky.
Sure.
I wouldn't have known that without the map. That's what the map's for.
Yes, check it and then turn it off. And same with the window.
No, I need it on the whole time.
If it's a flight that's over a certain amount of time, you got to keep the window closed.
Why don't you put on some horse blinders?
I do have those, yes. I have purchased very good eye blinders. Yeah, and a feed bag, too.
Yeah. Why don't you just put it in the bag?
Yeah, just come by and fill it with peanuts, and I'll be good to go.
Yeah, actually, never mind. I brought my own shrimp and garlic. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Can you throw the salmon in the microwave for me? Anyways, let's move on.
South African scientists make rhino horns radioactive to curb poaching.
Okay, cool.
They've tried everything else, and now they're just putting little radioactive like injections in the horns. So
does this hurt the rhino?
No.
Okay.
It's low enough that they're fine. But if you kill a rhino, poach it, and take its horns, it will set off all of the like scary radiation alarms at the airport. And also, if you manage to make it out with the horn and grind it up into like fucking Chinese medicine, everyone who ingests that will die a horrible death.
Good.
So I think this is a great plan.
Sure.
I support it. Make the rhinos radioactive again.
Florida man sneezes his intestines out of his body at restaurant. Okay, we've already had the baby in the toilet at the Golden Corral. What restaurant did this happen at? Did you look it up?
Not
This is a
chain.
disgusting thing to have.
I was picturing it. He didn't cough it out of his mouth.
It came out of his nose?
No, he had like a stoma or something from like a recent surgery where they had to like remove part of his stomach. And yeah, he sneezed so hard that like, yeah, the cap popped off and it just went, he farted his intestines out of his stomach while trying to enjoy a tasty breakfast. Yeah, not fun, right?
Let's move on.
Canadian man makes history after receiving 0 election votes. I am the true unity candidate.
What's gonna happen to Joe Biden? Well, I did it. I brought the country together. Yeah,
You did it.
I guess.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. I heard she was fucking pissed because she's not even on like the short list for replacement.
Yeah, no, she was only.
Nor should she be.
No, she shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like,
It is very
sorry,
funny. that
I'm
they were
sorry,
like,
you don't have it.
oh, so we're replacing the president now. Well, look who's right here waiting in the wings, the old vice president.
Yeah, and I'll say this, like, she's pretty solid in the role of vice president, which means you send her to the events and places you don't want to go to yourself, and she just sort of smiles and laughs and just seems like a human being.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the job of the vice president. Joe Biden's old job,
Yeah.
which he was also pretty good at. Just show up and like, don't fucking embarrass us. But if you do, actually embarrass yourself a little bit just to like seem human.
Yeah.
But yeah, president, are you kidding?
From the outhouse, 400-meter runner goes from locked in a porta potty straight to the Olympics. Okay.
Yeah, and she won. She she won the qualifier, but she had to take a shit. I don't know if it was a shit. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. But she was in a porta
A
potty.
bio break,
She had to take a bio break.
which everyone reminded me in the comments that's been around for a very long time.
Okay, it's
Sorry,
still, I hate it.
Yeah,
I don't
normal
like it.
people. I only hang out with normal people who say piss or shit.
Yeah, so she went to take a piss of shit in a porta potty, like right before her race, and got locked in. She's like banging on the door. She's in there for a while, shaking it.
Could you imagine the
Finally-
biggest moment of your life?
Yeah, finally someone opened it up and she just sprinted to the racetrack and fucking, I think, broke a record. Like, she's like one of the fastest female runners there's ever been.
That's great.
But yeah, she almost missed her qualifier because of a porta potty not opening the door for her.
I would be
It's-
looking into who booby-trapped that porta potty.
Yeah. Was it the Russians? They're always up to something.
Yeah.
2 U.S. astronauts stuck in space as Boeing analyzes Starliner problems. What? Another Boeing problem? Boeing is... Oh, God. So, yeah, this was Boeing. They got the contract, this was like 5 years ago, to like build the new shuttle thing that takes people to the ISS. They went like way the fuck over budget. The launches kept getting delayed because things were going wrong. This is all amidst their airplanes just like falling apart every 3 days or so. And wouldn't you know it, once they actually got those astronauts up there, now, not sure when they're going to be able to bring them back down.
I was impressed that they even were able to make it to the
I
island.
wouldn't have gotten in that shuttle.
Not me.
No, sir. Those astronauts,
They are built different.
braver than the troops.
Yeah, and so is that capsule. Built different. Incorrect.
Built wrong.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We love our aerospace industry, don't we, folks? Best in the world.
Going to get a lot better now that the Chevron, Supreme Court decision on the Chevron Accord or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Department of Transportation, for too long, they've had the ability to like tell companies how to make things not kill people.
And they're doing away with that.
We're getting rid of that.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, the 6-foot male snake, gives birth to 14 babies in rare virgin birth.
I
And
worship
yeah.
the snake now.
He is a male, but he's also a female. He did a little,
Yeah.
yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
They checked for Dick like 10 years ago, and they're like, yeah, it's a boy, Ronaldo. And he hasn't been around another snake for years. Suddenly pregnant.
Ronaldo is such a sex icon. He
Yeah.
impregnated himself.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens.
That's how Christianity was born.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think they changed his name to
Mary?
Mary. Yeah.
Cargo ship draws Suez Canal blockage comparisons after becoming stuck in Cambridge River.
Yeah, this is delightful. Little riverboat, one of those boats that's long and
Put the
flat.
paddle on it?
No, it's like a cargo ship,
Oh,
but like
yeah,
really
okay.
flat,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
those big giant cargo ships that go on rivers. And calmest waters imaginable, not a ripple. And so, somehow,
He was trying to drift it.
yeah, I guess they had some trouble getting it out, but they got it out.
Well, that's good.
Always a delight when a ship that's supposed to go straight goes cockeyed and blocks the whole thing up for everyone else.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they got it
Anyways.
all cleared up. Yeah.
That's our show.
Woo! Just under an hour. Woo!
God.
You owe us $5. Click the join button.
You do.
Yeah. We're losing our goddamn minds here, okay?
This is not a good time to be
It's
alive
America's
and-
birthday next week.
Oh God, yeah, that too. It feels like every 4th of July like coincides with just multiple reasons happening around the same time of just like, wow, fuck this country. So, once again, always.
Hopefully we'll have some, no we won't actually, because we're gonna cover some Supreme Court stuff. But hopefully there's some good news coming down the...
Man, I don't know.
Next week, a short week next week, we're just gonna have 2 episodes, just because it's fucking 4th of July. Let us
Yeah.
celebrate. But to make up for that, you can click the join button. But if you're at the very least, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have 2 episodes popping up right over here for you. We got a news dump about just more companies deleting decades worth of content for no reason. And then an episode of Tech News Day. Check both of those out, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we are talking about alpha males. Yes, alpha males. I've been scrolling through Instagram for a while, and for some reason on Reels, I used to see a little more on TikTok, but on Reels for some reason, Instagram just has a lot of alpha males. I guess you could say Andrew Tate wannabe kind of guys, but mostly just men who are fixated on a set of rules that lets them also be a man. I mean, I'm talking alpha boot camps, spiritual alphaness, business alphaness, anything that makes you a stronger man. Because we need grown men online to sell us courses on how to be men. I don't know how to be a man. That's why I have collectively spent $70,000 every month on alpha male courses so I can please my wife and I can be the best man I can possibly be, spiritually, socially, and economically. Right? I'm a little business fiend. But what's prompted this idea today that made me want to talk about this was one man in particular that I've had a lot of fun watching. And who am I talking about, of course? Well, his name is Andy Elliott.
You're killing yourself. Get it? So get disgusted.
I've been seeing Andy Elliott pop up on my timeline for whatever reason. I don't know if his promoted posts are just targeted towards me, my demographic of a, beta, not respecting man. But Andy has popped up everywhere, and his Instagram reels are a little unhinged.
What if someone kidnapped your son David and they told him they were going to kill him unless you sold 40 cars a month?
There go another player tip. You gotta kill yourself.
But before I dive into him, let me tell you a little bit about him. Andy Elliott is the founder and CEO of the Elliott Group, which he uses to promote his Alpha Leader Mindset training program, okay?
You cannot fuck with us. Culture. So I can say, move right, bam, they'll shift now. I can say, move left, bam, they'll shift now.
He's a motivational speaker and guru whose whole shtick is that he trains people on how to be a better salesman. Everything we look at today is going to be courses on how to be a better salesman, which Andy specializes in cars. He's a car salesman. Imagine you go to a Kia or a Toyota dealership, and this is this giant thumb comes up to you and starts talking this way. Andy used to be a car salesman and claims to have made $720,000 in 1 year on used cars in Norman, Oklahoma, which is funny because on his website, if you look, he has a screenshot he has a scan of his pay stub. This looks like some piece of crime footage put in here. My And his whole philosophy is that if you're not making $500,000 in used car sales, or I'm guessing just car sales or sales in general, every year, then you're incompetent. You're doing something wrong. In a video, he even says that he has salespeople in his program that make $100,000 a month.
People go spend 50 grand on college to learn how to make 50 grand a year. A doctor goes to school for freaking 7 years, pays 250 grand. No ways. We in here have salespeople that make 100,000 a month.
I also like the idea too that he's like, college is overrated, and he chooses the one thing that you actually need college for is to be a fucking doctor, dude. Yeah, you know what? Doctors might not make as much as a salesman. But guess what? They're saving lives. They're productive members of society, not con men, not fucking sales parasites. My God. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Online brokers will look to sell your information to spammers, scammers, and anyone looking to get their little paws on your information. They can find embarrassing photos of you, important addresses, and health records. And if you're me, they can find out your real age. I've tried so long to hide it, but those nosy people on the internet found out and now posted it everywhere. Which is why I'm begging you to use Aura and don't end up like me. Aura automatically alerts you to data brokers selling sensitive information and stops them in their tracks. It also keeps your spam folder clear and monitors your suspicious activity. Recently, AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records were released on the dark web, which is absolutely horrifying. But I sleep soundly knowing I have Aura. They're always protecting my information with strong passwords, constant monitored activity, credit card freezes, and fraud alerts. And best of all, Aura does everything you need to prevent a breach from one app. I value my privacy, and I value yours. To spend less time worrying, go to aura.com/papameat to start your 2-week free trial, or take a look at the video description to get started today. Thanks to Aura for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. It's becoming clearer and clearer now, and I was going to try to thinly veil this, but it's one of those things where it's another guy who's taking insecure men online who are looking for any kind of direction, probably don't have a lot of education, so of course they're not going to be doctors. Why would I even want to be a doctor anyway? What am I, fucking nerd? What are you even doing? I could be making 100 grand a month at a Kia dealership, dude. He is also the self-proclaimed world's fastest growing sales trainer. Gave that title to himself, you know what I mean? Because of social media. He's blowing up on verticals because, vertical content. You know what I'm talking about? You sit there, you have a dog that gets 8.5 million likes, and then you have Andy Elliott, who yells at you for becoming a doctor or for drinking soda. Which if you look at his Instagram bio here, world's fastest growing sales trainer. I still like how the text me thing is going on. They got some celebrities to do that for a little bit. Like I remember like years ago, they had like Ninja and all kinds of other people have this text scam where you get paid when people text you. It's fucking stupid. But he says, it's time to get it all. Fit as fuck, best marriage, badass dad, love God, and $100 million plus business, dude. It's right there to just grab hold of. Andy Elliott's the man you want to be. Here's some other little stats from if you had a little Andy Elliott baseball card and you want to flip it over, this is what it might say. He created a 9-figure company in just 3 years. He's trained 11,000 businesses, and he's the most sought after public speaker. That can't be true. There has to be C-list actors and celebrities who are definitely getting more public speaking gigs than him. He's not even getting public speaking gigs. He goes on podcasts sometimes, and then he like rents out a Hilton event center thing or like a conference room, and then he sells tickets to come watch him speak. But there's like 20 guys in there. On his website, you can get his free book, Sales Warrior Playbook, and of course, $993 of free training. That's a deal. You also get almost $1,300 worth of other courses for free when you get his book. Just buy the book. Come on. All you have to do is you just need to pay $15.99 for shipping. Not a bad gig if you ask me. Oh, sorry, I'm just waking up. I like how even on his website, it's just him like in black and white screaming at men in a crowd that are like this. Andy also is a fitness icon. Andy is a big, buff, alpha man, and he believes in the six-pack mentality. And one thing with the six-pack mentality that he preaches is that being a good salesman is being fit as fuck. Having a six-pack, gentlemen. Because have you ever bought something from a fat fucking weirdo? I'm waiting. Anytime I go into a store and I see a fat person, I say, get out of here. I tell that to my family. I say, we're leaving. We're going to go to GNC and we're going to get our groceries there. All right. He makes all of his employees have six packs, and it's even the women. Women and men that work for him, you have to have six-pack abs, or guess what? Get out. You're fired. I need to start doing that with my own studio, dude. I'm just the fattest guy here, and I'm like, yeah, actually, you guys need to start having six packs.
I'm going to tell you this, my entire company, my entire team, if you don't have a six-pack, you don't work for us. No, I know. It's called, everybody say standard. How about we raise them? How about we raise them? How about you guys quit getting civilized and you guys quit settling?
Imagine being like an in-shape guy. Like you're just like, I don't have enough time to go to the gym or do whatever to have six-pack abs. Like I'm healthy at this way. I'm not a big gym guy. And he's just like, how about you quit getting civilized and you quit settling? You having a nice date night with your wife here and you want to order some lasagna? Who the hell are you to order lasagna? Quit settling. I have a very good life and I'm happy and I love my family. Yeah, but where's the six-pack at, jackass? This reminds me of every fat guy I've ever met that gets in shape. They're like the nicest person ever when they're fat or kind of like out of shape, right? You don't even have to be morbidly obese. I'm just saying, whenever someone's life isn't fixated entirely on fitness and outward appearances, and as soon as they become attractive or they get like a six-pack or they become buff, it becomes their entire personality and it just like ruins them as a person. Not saying that happens to everybody, but I've seen it time and time again where he gives off that aura where everything now is associated, like being a sales trainer now has to be associated with fitness as well. It's just one of those like mental fucking blockhead type things.
You know, there's some people in this room that said, I would sue my company if they told me I had to have a six-pack. We know you would. That conversation was for the 1%ers. That wasn't for you.
I would sue my company if they told me, yeah. Imagine being morbidly obese and you like rely on this income. You've been there forever and they're just like, hey, by the way, we have a new six-pack implementation. We have a new six-pack policy for our employees. Okay, well, I'm going to take this to court because that's illegal. Yeah, we know you would. Well, then what? That makes no fucking, sorry, you like, the way he phrases that makes it seem like he's like, we welcome people suing us. We want to be sued because we're breaking the law for raising standards. That's what he says in court too. All right, so you're pleading not guilty. Well, I hold myself to a standard, Your Honor, and I'm trying to raise them. It's like a Forrest Gump, who's also mentally disabled and ran across the country. I feel like probably has the same sales tactics as Andy Elliott. And don't be wrong, even if he can't see your body underneath your shirt, he will blatantly just call you ugly right to your face.
You're pretty fucking ugly, right? No, I mean, it's just real. So you get in shape. Hey, I'm not that good looking of a guy. I'm a pretty ugly motherfucker. But you know what? I get in good shape and it makes me better looking.
My boy is vascular. My boy is on some tren. My boy's on some HGH, some kind of steroid. He is vascular. Got those cobweb arms.
No, I mean, it's just real.
No, I mean, I'm not being a dick. I'm being honest. Okay, so we're gonna be mad at me for being honest. Okay, all right. The sky's blue. Are you gonna be mad at me for that? That's the ugliest man I've ever seen. And what would change that is if he went to the gym every day and transformed himself. He would probably love himself a lot more. Not because he's gonna be happier, healthier with his own decision of transforming his body, but because he's insecure and because I publicly humiliated him, he's gonna have a weird relationship with working out and getting in shape to where when he finally does it, he's probably gonna be a monster, which is gonna make him a great salesman. Write that down. Write that down. Who here wants to be manipulated and emotionally abused into getting in shape? Who here wants to have fitness goals not for themselves but to appease other people? Raise your hand. I bet you're real happy. Shake your head yes, don't shake your head no. Write that down. During these seminars and classes, Andy will also make the people in the audience come up on stage and take off their shirts to prove this point.
Do you want to run around on the beach with your shirt off?
Right now.
Okay, do you want to?
No.
Do you got a girl?
Not right now.
Let him cook. You would have one if you listen to what I say. Listen, it's disrespectful to tell other people that you can help them when you're not helping yourself.
Do you want to run on the beach right now? And the other guy's like, no, I really wouldn't want to. I'm kind of insecure about my body. All right, do you have a girl? No, I don't have a girl. Dude, if you're listening to me, you'd have one. It's so manipulative and fucking stupid. Can I get one of the fattest guys in the room and a weird schlubby guy to come stand next to me because my body's bigger and better? It's like stupid manipulation tactics, and there's gonna be dumbasses in the crowd who are like, oh my God, he's right. Look at that Greek Adonis next to those schlubby fucks. Also, what does this have to do with sales training? He like will break down these people who are paying for his course, by the way. Break them down mentally. He's trying to manipulate the conversation to being like, oh, if you had more confidence confidence in yourself, you'd be a better salesman. What I feel like half the time being a good salesman is understanding the customer and understanding the product. You being like overconfident dickhead, dude, I feel like the majority of people have been around an egotistical, narcissistic salesman before. Way too pushy. It's like you notice it in real time because they are not suave at all. Just pushing you to sign things immediately. Like car salesmen in general usually just be like, all right, well, yeah, let's get you locked in, whatever. And they're kind of like guiding you to the sales room floor, even after you've been like, I am not buying this car. It's that kind of thing. This is the kind of person he is trying to make you into, is an aggressive man who only cares about the sale. I would argue that good salesmen can be someone who is respectful to the consumer. That's like number one. Having self-confidence in yourself is obviously important, but going about it in this way, especially whenever it's as shallow as just their physical appearance, is insane. It's emotionally manipulative is what it is. 9 times out of 10, obviously the person's going to be insecure about his body, and you're going to try to manipulate him into buying your stupid fucking course. But that's just also part of his strategy though too. Make you feel weak, make you feel feeble, and that in return, he's a messiah. He's a savior complex, and only with his help, and if you pay him of course, he can get you out of this rut to be a better salesman.
Malcolm, how long you been selling for? A year. Are you the top guy here? Are you at the top of the board? There's a board. Okay, then you're not the top guy here. Do you want to be the top guy here? Okay, you got to carry yourself differently. I can see in your eyes, you got loose eyes. You need to wake up and compete.
The whole idea too of just singling people out, it's just so funny. Are you the top guy here? Do you want to be the top guy? I mean, what are you supposed to? No. Why would you respond that? No, I don't. It's like, obviously, he's like a tarot card reader or like a fortune teller, using blanket statements to kind of do catch-all things that are applicable to everyone's life. And especially in the sales room world, you can just be like, are you the top guy here? Obviously not. He's at a sales course, you fucking moron. Well, do you want to be? Yeah. Well, dude, you have weird chimp eyes. Your eyes are all sporadic and fucking weird. Why don't you carry yourself different? Okay, that's a good idea. I will. So now he's going to go into work the next day and he's going to be like, dude, I'm gonna be the best fucking guy here. And all of his coworkers are gonna hate him. But it doesn't matter because he's on that grind set and he's gonna get those sales.
I don't need any validation. Fuck you.
I love the beginning of that one. I don't need any validation. Fuck you.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna win. If you don't like me, eat shit. I don't care. In the end, we'll fucking see what happens. Bet against me. I love it. The more people that bet against me, the more dangerous you make me. When you speak, I can tell that you need fucking validation from other people that you're qualified for a good life.
I don't need validation. Fuck you. He's posting all of his takes and stuff on social media to garner that attention for himself. Also, he's validating himself all the time with all of the follower counts that he has and praise that he gives himself. It isn't him building himself up as like, see what I did without validation? No, he's putting it out there publicly because he wants to be like some kind of weird social media guru guy.
I was calling to get some information about a vehicle I saw on the website.
Okay, which vehicle?
Oh, we got an old fart on here.
Oh, we have a man who's old as f. I'm gonna steamroll this old piece of shit.
So how many miles are on it again?
67.6.
I think I'm gonna look around for one with a little bit less miles.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for calling. Let me know if I can help.
Buddy, just like that, you're gonna let me go?
You're gonna give me my personal space and just, let me be a human being? Are you dumb as f or what, dude? Get off your rocker and listen up.
Let me ask you a question. Is this a sales prevention line?
God, the cringe. Let me ask you something. And seriously, this is a genuine question. Is this a sales prevention line? Because you suck at this.
People that are order takers go work at Walmart, but people that can influence and persuade learn to close. They can get whatever dream they want in life.
People who are order takers work at Walmart. I like how it's just like, if you work in the service industry, you're a piece of shit. There's been not one alpha who works at Walmart, all right? It's funny too, because he's selling this idea that everyone can just be a leader. So much of what is going on, and especially even with Andy here, is a big 4-letter word called luck. Luck is a huge factor of how shit moves. You can't just, not all these things just fall into your lap, and sometimes just life deals you a shit hand. Just because you work a service industry job doesn't make you a weak-minded person. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's okay to want more and want to do things as well, but you shouldn't have to beat yourself up because you're earning a living and you're paying your bills and you're taking care of yourself. You know what that is? That's being a functional member of society. That's being someone who is taking care of themselves, maybe even taking care of their family, and that within itself is the most respectable thing you can do on this fucking planet. You don't need some jack off belittling your experience as a human being for working these jobs as well. well. Not everybody wants to be a fucking leader, dude. A lot of people are just like, I would love to just simply wake up and exist today. And that is more than fine.
Okay, don't ever let me catch you being an order taker again, okay?
I appreciate you.
Oh God, don't ever let me catch you being an order taker again. Dude, fuck off. Oh God, the cringe. Oh God. He kind of said that sexually too, doesn't he?
Now, don't ever let me, oh man, you got me acting up right now. All right, don't ever let me catch you taking orders again, all right?
Okay. And he's like,
Good boy.
You're just a normal person. You want to be normal? You want to have a normal bank account? You have a normal car?
God, dude, you want a normal bank account next to you? Oh, God.
Go ahead. Nobody will laugh at you when you're normal. No one's going to laugh at you. You'll fit right in. Good job. Good job. You fit right in.
You know what's funny is that I think in a weird roundabout way, he's saying don't blend in with the crowd, be your own person is kind of what he's trying to say, which I think even for normal people you can do, but exceptionally here, him saying that if people laugh at you, it means you're doing something better. Sometimes being the butt of the joke is not a good thing. Sometimes being abnormal is a reason that you are trying so hard to be a zebra amongst like horses. It's obnoxious. Like you're putting a giant spotlight on yourself to be like, am I special? Is there any more? Like there's nothing more insincere or someone who is so self-conscious about their place in life where they have to be so loud that they're distracting, and then when people have negative things to say about them, it's because they're jealous. So because I'm so unique and I'm so loud and I'm so crazy, you're not on my level. You don't understand who I am, but really you're just a leech. You're a parasite on the fabric of this society, and that's why everybody is quote-unquote laughing at you, but really they're not laughing, they're criticizing you. And there's a giant difference between being in on the joke and criticizing someone for something that they're doing that is, for lack of better words, annoying, bad, and like I really have no other word for it. It is these little tactics too of him being like, oh, you want to be normal? Dude, all right, man, be normal. You want a house with a wife and a kid? Hey, no, you do you, man. You do you. You have enough money to live off of and you and your family live comfortably and you're very happy. All right, man. Are you a millionaire? No. Okay, well, you'd be a whole lot happier if you were.
How many cars do you sell a month?
I'm limited.
I don't even know what the hell that means. When you're here for 9.5 hours a day, how many cars do you sell right now?
One this month so far.
Okay, all right. There's no way you can be fulfilled as a man. I wish every one of you could just get angry when you're letting somebody down that believes in you.
Guys, I want you to form a hatred. Whenever you're feeling insecure about yourself and you're letting someone down, that's when you need to start cultivating rage, because rage translates to harmony. All right, punch a couple holes in walls. When you get home, slap your wife around, take it out on something, build up that rage. Because when you start doing that, you'll become a monster and you'll want to fight that monster to become a better salesman.
There's no way you can be fulfilled as a man.
To say you're not fulfilled as a man is insane. You can definitely say you're not professionally fulfilled, because in all honesty, he probably isn't. He's at a sales seminar, he's there to get some help, but instead, you're not fulfilled as a man goes so much farther and belittles his character, it belittles him professionally, and it belittles like all insecurities he has as well. Because here's another thing, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these guys are gonna say whatever he's wanting him to say. One, because it might be plants. Oh, Hunter's saying he's planning? I don't know, maybe. Are these verticals fabricated events for social media campaigns? I don't know, you didn't hear him from me. But also, if there was someone there was a stranger, a giant bulking man that you've paid to come see, because then if you got up and left, that's money you've wasted, who's looking you right in the eyes. You're around all these other men who are staring you as well. You're kind of wanting probably this interaction to be done with as soon as possible, so I might as well just let him. I'm just gonna say what he wants to hear so this can just be done, because I'm so uncomfortable. Or you might be so insecure that he is brainwashing you and manipulating you into saying what he wants you to say, and then you believe him and give him money. So fucking tragic, man.
You know what it'll cost you if you don't get in shape? You think it's hard today when you're 30 pounds overweight? Wait for 2 years. Wait till you're 60, 100. Wait till you get a heart problem. Wait till the people who once thought you were attractive and believed and loved you give up on you because they see you don't love yourself. Sure, hard for me to love you when you don't love you.
These are all just, I like I should. You think it's hard right now when you're 30 pounds overweight? Give it 2 years. You'll be heavier. It's going to be harder then. You think? Also, you're preaching about heart problems and stuff. Dude, how about all the fucking steroids and supplements you're putting in your body? I know that you look like a great god here, but guess what? All that shit that you're putting in, how does your heart feeling, dude? You're walking around giving a seminar and your fucking veins are about to pop out of your goddamn arm. You couldn't possibly be doing steroids, right? Well, dude, because you look so good right now, well, whenever you have a heart attack and you're not able to do all these steroids steroids and you're a weak old man, are people even going to love you then? Even if you're not doing steroids, whenever you're unable to keep lifting weights when you're older and you become a lot smaller and you're not as big and you're a weak old man, people will probably stop loving you, right? Because people who loved you then, they're not going to love you now because you're not as strong as you used to be. If you're a big fat bozo, no one's going to love you right now because people are like, he doesn't take care of himself. There's no other qualities about him. It's only his looks. Look at him. Ew. Unironically, that's what my wife does to me. Andy Elliott, please, I need your help. I will starve myself. I will do steroids. I will become a car salesman if I have to. Please, Andy, please. But you know, him harping on this, the guy is obsessed with fitness. It's a part, I mean, it is a part of every sales tactic he has, is to belittle you because a lot of, I would say the majority of men, I'd love to know a percentage of even in the world, have a six-pack. And if you have a six-pack and you stand next to a guy who doesn't, who's going to look better? So it's just like, well, I'm going to listen to the guy with a six-pack because every guy with a six-pack, he has his head on right. He's able to not eat carbs. And I love pasta. I must be a real piece of shit, huh?
You ever seen a fucking salesman drink energy drinks all day long? Well, bro, why are you drinking energy drinks all day long? If you were healthy, you wouldn't need an energy drink. Dude, if you had a big goal, if you had a big standard, you'd be so jacked up to hit that, you wouldn't even need an energy drink. But you're dead. You're trying to raise yourself up by fucking drinking energy drinks, dude. You're killing yourself. You get it?
Did you have a Red Bull? You're going to die! Dude, also here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you something right now. People look at me and they say, you're the luckiest guy on earth, right? Which I am. I am extremely lucky. I am always grateful for the position I'm in. But let me tell you, it does not matter what you do. You could be getting paid to do nothing, and that's your job. You could be a streamer. You could be a content creator. You could be a podcaster. No matter what you do, it's awesome for a little bit, but it will always turn into a job. So the idea to always perpetually be happy about this obligation, this thing that is paying, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad job, but it is a job at that. And people in time, it doesn't matter what you do, I swear to God, after a while you'll be like, I don't want to fucking do this today. You're gonna have one of those days because it's a job, and that's normal. Waking up every day hyper fixated and just being like, I can't wait to suck today's dick and sell as many cars as I can, feels unrealistic. And also, you shouldn't punish yourself for having negative emotions. That is the it's like, I'm not even a fucking psychologist. I can tell you right, that is the worst thing you can do. There are days where you can feel bad. You know why? Because you're a human being, and that's fine. Are you waking up and you feel a bit groggy? Have a Red Bull. I mean, my God, chug 4 of them? Probably not, but have a fucking Red Bull, dude. Is it hard to get up in the morning and you feel like kind of like a piece of shit? That's fine. Work through it. Because guess what? Once you're able to accept these negative emotions and you're able to actually understand and be like, you know what? I am feeling kind of a bit shitty today. The sooner that you'll be able to process that and then move on. Because people are able to do that. And then as the day goes on, they're like, I'm feeling better. And you appreciate shit more, dude. This whole idea of just like, it has to be one way or the other, or scolding someone, you feel bad. You're fat and you feel bad, so you're a bad person. You got to change right now. It's just, it's FOMO. Fear of missing out on this program, fear of yourself. It's just, it's manipulation.
I was making a couple million sitting there, and I looked in the mirror and I fucking hated me. I was disgusted, but everybody's telling me I made it. Then why the hell am I so fucking disgusted? Because they got it confused. Do you guys know you guys were put here and built to help other people? Today, when I leave, I'm gonna go change millions of lives. You are too.
Oh my God, man. I love this comment is so fucking true. Downplay a doctor and go sell a Kia. Keep saving those lives.
Then why the hell am I so fucking disgusted?
Probably because you're living a very facetious and very surface level life where I'm sure all you ever cared about was getting that $1 million. That's why you feel hollow and empty, because there's really no goal. You selfishly sold cars to people, which we're getting ready to get into that. And then now, because you did that, you probably feel guilt. You probably feel disgusted. You probably feel that just because you have a lot of money in your bank account, it doesn't equate to absolute and total happiness. Money is freedom. Money absolutely is freedom, but it is not purpose. It is not drive. Money is a fuel for your ambitions and your passions, and money can set you entirely free. But if the dollar is to be framed and put on your wall, it will do nothing for you. So to chase this dream about being like, I want to make $40 million, it doesn't mean dick. If you have no character, no self-respect, and you have no genuine interest in anything, his whole interest was just sales. So of course you're going to wake up and you're going to feel hollow one day, because even though you changed your goal of making $1 million, you're still doing monotonous garbage shit that is just in service to getting this little number a little higher. Also, God forbid you go see some kind of therapist about this. You know what I mean?
Do you guys know you guys were put here and built to help other people? Today, when I leave, I'm gonna go change millions of lives.
What the fuck are you talking about? Do you guys know that you were meant to have people buy things from you? You're here to help people. That should have transitioned into you saying, it's not a bad idea to get some mental help every once in a while. Seek a professional. Have someone to talk to. Rely on a family system. Anything like that. But no, he isn't just a salesman. He's not a health guru. He's God, all right? He's here to be your daddy in every shape and form. He wants to emotionally manipulate you in the sales room, and then you follow him, and then he becomes your voice for every kind of decision you have to make in your life. Textbook cult shit. Is he forming a cult? I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but it does feel that way. It feels like a cult leader. I'm going to go change millions of lives. Okay, dude. Delusional bastard. Andy has a few controversies of his own. First off, he steals other people's content and success stories and reposts them as his own. Here's a little side-by-side of Andy Elliott and a guy named Jocko Willink. He also uses stock photos and manipulates them to paint a picture that he's wealthier than he actually is. I love this. The Elliott Group, no limits. It's the exact photo, but it's just a digitally painted thing. It's so funny. What a loser. He blatantly lies about it, and he also blatantly lies about his success numbers. That's a shocker, right? But this is where I wanted to build up his character here as being the elite manipulator, because there's one thing that is to take away from Andy Elliott, which is his giant controversy. When he was a used car salesman at Big Red Kia, indicted on charges for fraudulent loans, deceptive banking practices, and flat-out lies. He created this concept of something called King Cash, where they would falsify records saying the customer put down $1,500 on a car in cash when they did not. Banks would use this down payment as a backing for basis on a loan. After being caught confirming the fraud, he sold out all of his teammates and employees in a plea deal. Andy, alpha shit, dude. That's king shit, man. King Cash. Big Red Kia. In exchange for agreement to testify against his co-workers, underlings, and boss, he received full immunity for financial crimes committed, including identity theft and forgery. And during the period of 2014 to 2019, his entire team was convicted of wire fraud conspiracy, forgery, and identity theft. Alpha. During the events of the fraud trial, a loan officer named Donna Mullins for Tinker Loans admitted to being harassed and threatened by Andy Elliott. Threats happened both over the phone and in person, or even at church. Go with God, Andy. Go with God. And in 2014, a lender was made aware of their fraudulent practices, and Chris Mays, Elliott's boss, emailed threats to the CEO of the lender to cease investigating. On page 61 of an expose with court document testimony, Andy was told to force Donna to keep her fucking mouth shut, and she did so. He threatened to expose her for being a whore. Classic, dude. Alpha fucking insinuating she slept with many of the employees at the store. They spent whole days and workout sessions role-playing with one another, ways to pin blame on her, insinuating she was any way to discredit her as a person. But you do have identity theft. They are big proponents of identity theft, which part of their loan process involved applications for loans that were submitted without customer knowledge. Portions of the loan proceedings were funneled off to illegitimate parts of the business, and fake documents were made in the customers' names. He would fake customers' pay stubs as well as fake customer utility bills, which is an actual court document thing here. A little back and forth here. The questionnaire said, so they were faking pay stubs? Yes, ma'am. What about utility bills? Every day. Yes, ma'am. Every day what? We would make utility bills because you would have to have two people and we would need to join them together sometimes. Which he also created a fictitious pawn shop where items were pawned as down payment for cars, but the items were never pawned. Okay, let's just go to the next one. What's this pawn item? A PlayStation 3 for $4,700. Fucking loser. God. Okay, how about the next one? A Flash programmer for $5,500. And the next one, this is a weed eater for $4,700. The next one, Ozark Trail outdoor equipment, looks like a tent. It's a tent for $6,000, which I love that. A PS3 that was pawned for $4,700. A weed eater for $4,700. And an Ozark tent for $6,000. So good. He also used bribery and manipulation against Tinker Loans employee Donna Mullins. He met the individual at his church during Bible study and found out that she was desperate for money because alphas can smell the blood from a mile away, dude. He's a shark in the water. As soon as there's blood, he goes wild, all right? And as soon as there's a helpless woman who's like, I'm really in need of cash, he's like, what'd you say? You said you need cash? I can help you get cash. Then he paid her in cash with the expectation that she would review and handle loans for Big Red and Norman Mitsubishi, AKA he was a loan shark. And he gave her money and he said, you're going to approve every loan that we send you. And in her desperation, she's probably like, all right. She was asked to resign because it was discovered she was taking money from Andy Elliott. And Big Red, owned by Andy's boss, hired her as the finance manager. That's weird. I wonder why. That's okay. Well, there you go. Earlier in this document, we made it very clear that Andy he boasted that he made $720,000 after tax, after Social Security and everything, in 1 year selling cars. When the entire basis of that achievement and that thing that is his center proof to being a great salesman was that he was manipulating fraudulent loans, giving people who never had a chance to actually buy the cars, giving them fake down payments for the cars for the loans, and was able to boost up his own car sales. There's probably bonuses involved in doing that as well. And yeah, it's easy to probably rack up $1 million in sales whenever you're just lying, doing illegal shit. And that is the crux of everything Andy is. He's a manipulator. He's a person who is out to prey on people who are insecure, people who are looking for answers. It is a cult. He is trying to run a cult, and he is doing it in a way that is run like an insane man on social media. Andy is not the only man doing this. There are hundreds, I mean, probably thousands of people doing this kind of stuff. There are whole camps and programs dedicated to you going out there and training with them and doing all kinds of stuff. And it's just got to be said that if you ever come across this, if you're ever insecure in your life, get some actual mental help. Know that you are loved by many and that you do not need to dump your money into a false prophet, savior-esque man who will give you nothing in return but manipulation and heartache. I'm telling you, this man is a fucking snake in the tall grass. Watch out for him. And if there's anything to take away at all from this video, it's for the love of God, don't fall in the hands of an alpha male influencer. Take care, everyone. See you next time.
I can't do this. I'm done.
So bad.
I can't finish this.
He can't. He either doesn't have the frame of reference or the capacity to like formulate a full conversation. So like he'll have like one half of an idea.
I'm saying it. You've seen this already.
Yeah. God damn
How do you feel about this?
This is worse than Mr. Burcham.
Dude,
this is really bad.
It also doesn't make any sense. Like, it just...
Yeah.
It's even more nonsensical, but I kind of like it.
It has more of a Brickleberry art style than Mr. Burcham. And it has, like... It sort of has Brickleberry's tonality more so. It's very... Oh, my God.
Sorry for the hole in your wall. Good job triggering all these liberals in the replies. Trust me, no one is triggered by this. I punched a hole in my wall from anger. Sorry for the hole in your wall.
This account admin is like days away from death. This is a 93-year-old social media manager.
Bro, they got, what do you mean? They got
Larry Elder.
They got Larry Elder, yeah.
What? Larry Elder's in this? Oh my God, let me fucking drop everything. I love how, like in all these like new conservative adult animation shows, they always give like the anti-woke hero like a black best friend.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the pervasive fantasy of like a black guy thinking you're cool.
Yeah.
It's like every stupid American wants that.
Well, that, and then they also reveal like why he's there to begin with, which is like the woke guy is like, but you're black.
Non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
Norm, the judge agreed to...
Yeah, he showed his dick at a school. That's why he's locked up.
I have to go introduce myself to my neighbors? What if they have pronouns? I'm on a list. Why?
What condition?
Where's my room?
That's staying here?
Chaz is part of a new government program.
To re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist...
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
I don't understand. God. You're black.
That? Just Black Whisper?
You're his friend.
What is Black Whisper?
I don't know. There's a weird like outgrowth of conservative idpol where they're like, you need to sit your white ass down and listen to conservative black voices.
Yeah, I just like...
I don't know what it is. It's just, why do all of them have this character? They all have a character who's like a 50-year-old black guy who's like, I'm black, but like this woke stuff is stupid.
Yeah.
You're cool, Mr. Burcham.
Yeah, I think, oh my God.
This one is just,
it's so bad it kind of does loop around to being good, in my opinion. It's like so indecipherable. Like its politics are all over the place. Like, It feels like you have to be like a Facebook-induced schizophrenic who's like at least 48 to be able to enjoy this. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, those are the references I understand. Like, I don't think a normal conservative is going to sit around and watch this. Like, this is specifically for like all those all-in podcast listeners, you know, like the VC guys.
Yeah.
I'm a Republican in a liberal enclave type people.
Yeah, this is like, it's for people who wish that the Republican Party was more like a European style hard right party, but they're like too stupid to express that. But like, Mr. Burcham is, at the end of the day, it's very, very bad, remarkably bad, historically bad, but it is still a conventional bad show, regardless of its political leanings. It's the actual writing and plots and characters and acting. It is all of a piece of like just bad adult animation. It's very similar to other shows like that in just its, fluid relationship to reality, the tenuousness of the jokes, the dated references, etc. This is like, I can't quite place this. This has a lot of aspects that are similar to other shitty adult animation, but it's so like untethered and fake feeling. There's like a certain like hollowness and like a lack of a plan
it
to it.
Feels like it literally feels like it's AI, I think. I'm pretty sure AI wrote it.
Yeah, because there's just such little relationship between like one line of dialogue to another or one event to another. With Mr. Burcham, like that relationship is bad and clunky, but it exists. This is just like, 50 different resentments all thrown out, conflicting with each other. Nothing ends before the other thing begins. It's the show running equivalent of those AI pictures where a woman has like, in place of a torso, one tit and an ankle and like a belly
With like a bunch of old people in the replies like, oh, I'm so lonely.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing.
And boss, speaking of, when you coming back to the trophy shop?
As soon as I get rid of this, which means I gotta take in that?
Chaz is here to re-educate Norm.
In non-bonery studies.
Fucking got him.
What?
Non-bonery studies. This is why you got an ankle bracelet on, you pervert.
Is he saying like, I wouldn't him? What? I don't...
No, he's like, instead of non-binary studies, he's saying non-bonery studies, as in like, it's a double entendre on like
I know,
kids
but it's
getting
like,
their dicks chopped off, which they will make a reference to. Which is like, I think that there's nothing more anti-comedy than like, this is literally like in 2014, 2015, at the end of the Obama era, liberals were like, oh, you can't have bad characters in shows or whatever. Like Rad Libs were like going crazy over, sanitizing culture or whatever. Like, if they had their way, this is the reverse of this is what it would look like.
No, I've always said that like these shows and like Mr. Burcham, they're a mere image to like the equivalent adult animation of the latter Obama era and early Trump era. All those terrible adult animated shows, I can't even remember all of them. There was that one with the royal family that was terrible. Not all of them were expressly liberal. Some of them were. But the ones that were political in outlook had the exact same problem where they're trying to cram in 57,000 jokes from Twitter from the week that this was written into an episode that's going to show up 7 months later. There's no like there's just no actual attention paid to, is this a watchable thing?
Yeah, Little Bush. What the fuck is Little Bush?
Oh my God, Little Bush was that was
Hi,
that
Ben
was
Shapiro. As much. What is this? Ben Shapiro streaming service is failing.
Because he loves being a YouTuber.
People made fun of me for being French. DNA and me showed I was 8% Navajo. Nobody's made.
Bro, like Ben Shapiro trying to react to TikTok clips and shit is so.
It's like so depressing.
It like, dude, what are you doing, man? Yeah. What are you doing, big dog? Just like do the things that you've been doing, okay? None of this other shit.
Yeah, it's like watching a Korean War veteran trying to hit the gritty. It's just so depressing. It's like, can't you just like do your normal thing? Like say that like any criticism of Israel is like anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Play the violin.
Yeah, don't do this.
Stop doing this, dude.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like the intellectual. Yeah, you're not a funny guy. Don't try to be a funny guy, okay?
Making fun of me now or my people who are victims.
I'm 13% victim.
Is he doing a try not to laugh challenge?
Order now and find out if your friends should be more.
Oh, that's so gross. It's gross. Seeing him laugh is gross. It just like it triggers a fight or flight response in me.
I hate how like gradual it is, where he's like, I can feel some mirth rising. All right, now we're laughing.
More sympathetic towards you. DNA and me. Are you in?
Hell
Yeah, that is true.
Has always aspired for greater things. Believe it or not, his life has not been reacting to
oh my god,
compilation episode 700.
Learning how to do
having gone
content.
to USC for political science and Harvard Law, his true passion has always seemed to be in creative writing. He's written multiple novels as well as political books.
Oh, you read his novels?
Yeah, we read True Allegiance. His novels are awesome. They are like the hadiths for like boomer neoconservatism. The plots of all his novels are like it will always open in like Tehran, and there will be like a mullah who's like, thank you for meeting with me, the head of the cartel. Together we can work together to blame Jews for our own failures. Let's put a nuke on an airplane.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's like the manifesto on how porn is destroying society that he wrote in 2003. Walk into any high school in the United States and you can see teenagers, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, in baggy pants doing the pimp role. They imitate the dress style and the bad grammar, using phrases like faux shizzle, my nizzle. The common high school greeting is
talking about Aaron Bar.
Or dude, yes. Oh my god. I was gonna say Jake Tapper.
Oh my god. I forgot about the Jake Tapper one.
Yes,
Does chat know about the Jake Tapper thing?
I have shown it way back in the day, but I think it bears repeating. The Aaron Rupar one is like unearthed recently though.
Yeah. Isaac Breen brought it up.
Let's see if we have like brain rotted. Do we have enough brain rotted chatters in here to figure out exactly what we're talking about? Does anyone know what we're talking about? Aaron Rupar apparently wrote for like, what was it, like a Minnesota paper or something?
Minnesota City paper.
I think someone replied to Izzy,
posted it like on his TL.
What's his username again?
Actual ad, let me check.
The good old City Papers? Yeah, no,
This was.
Oh, okay. Well, first someone immediately found the Jake Tapper article.
Oh yeah. Well, this
one's a classic.
Classic.
This is the one. Yeah. I was shocked, so I looked it up, and it's 100% true. Aaron Rupar did compare the name of a recently shot 5-year-old child to a synonym for the N-word. The latter lyrics stem from the coverage of the fatal June shooting of 5-year-old, I'm not even going to say it now, George in North Minneapolis. Amid the many reports in the days after the summer's most disheartening local tragedy, City Page's staff writer Aaron Rupar dropped in a reference to being Snoop Dogg propagated slang for the N-word. Rupar later wrote an apology, but Ali and other activists still fault editors for backing out of a public discussion of the incident on the north side.
It just like Aaron Rupar was probably like 39 when he did this.
Yeah.
He's an older man. Man, I love it. I love it.
Wait, it's in the replies of this, but I can't find it.
Someone will pull it up.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I have seen this.
On his Facebook profile, Niz describes himself as, I go to school and I work all the time. I'm an executive producer, CEO, artist, father, gangsta, and a gentleman. The Pie Press reports that he's a rapper performing under the name Business. Perhaps one of his urban rappers inspired him to name his now deceased son Nizzle. According to Urban Dictionary, Nizzle is Snoop Dogg's favorite way of saying, Jesus Christ. That's like...
The entire article is like pretty bad.
Nizzle Banks' father, Niz, beat up his girlfriend's 2-year-old after boy wet his pants. Yeah, it's weird, but this takes the cake. Gang banging in media land.
It's insane that Jake Tapper wasn't like deported after this.
Yeah,
not because it's offensive, but just like, I mean, if you haven't seen this, you'll see. This is some of the worst use of language ever.
This was for Salon. Listen, to be fair, it's 2003. Okay. There's a lot of heat. People are.
2003 is a wild time, but people were still making good content in 2003. I want to iterate. Not everything was like this.
Okay.
There was funny stuff in 2003.
Yeah, woke culture killed this.
And that's it. What I'm talking about is this. This is the funny stuff in 2003. This article. Look how good this shit is.
This is the full image.
It's so bad. Like, I would give anything to hear his demands to the art department. Make them wear baggy pants and hip-hop chains.
The New Republic busts a cap in the New York Times backside for hoeing out on Iraq.
It gets way worse.
This is whack, yo, said Peter P. Biddy Beinart, the much feared editor of the New Republic, as he slammed that morning's New York Times down onto his desk. Whack. True dat, affirmed executive editor Snoop Kitty Orr, kicking it old school in DuPont Circle. Ice skim venti latte in hand. Colinzio been acting janky. One day it's all inspectors, UN disarmament. Then she busts a CK and disarmament is just an option. Dizam.
Fuck me, dude. I've read this before. We've read it on the show, and just every time it's so physically harmful to me. I hate this so much.
If America was not a white supremacist nation inherently, Jake Tapper would have been exiled for this, okay? Yeah. They needed to banish him to an island, like a faraway island.
Yeah, not even for like...
How are you going to look at this and say re-education camps are not good?
Yeah, like, I'm against like hate speech laws because of like what they would be in practice in America, but it's like, we need something for like this. I don't know if like it would be persecution under hate speech laws or like crime against language or just what, but like you should have to like you should have to go to one of those prisons where you break one big rock into smaller rocks for like 10 years.
Yes.
If you write this shit. Dizam! Has anyone in history ever said Dizam?
This is so much worse than saying like jive turkey. Yeah. That's how black people speak.
Yeah, like the first time I read this, that's what I thought it was gonna be. Like it would just be dated, but it just like, you know, he's just like wholesale.
You know, he's just making up shit.
Yeah. He's like, here's what they sound like to me.
This is like you are like you have surgically removed yourself from proximity to blackness and black people in general so far that like you've never even encountered a black person by accident. That's the only way you can write an article like this.
It's just like, is he capable of like internal monologue? Can he like use his mind's eye to imagine someone saying these things and then be like, oh wait, now that I envision it, this sounds idiotic. Like no one would ever say it. This is how like a dog would write.
From the corner boomed the voice of literary editor LW Cool L, former mixmaster of JWA, his lovely young bride on his lap, a draft of Kaddish 2. This time it's personal by his side.
Is this time it's personal a rap thing? Like, you idiot. He can't even maintain the conceit of the article.
This is somehow worse than Steven Crowder doing Chris Tucker as like every black person as a substitute for Chris Tucker voices. Like whether it's Morgan Freeman or Barack Obama, he has only one voice.
Yeah.
This is like that, but worse.
It's like it's so bad because like the conceit already sucks. Like there was a lot of this type of content around this time, whether it was like on the internet or like Saturday Night Live, where it's like, what if senators were rappers?
Yeah,
there's so much shit was like that, and it all sucked. But like, he's not even competent enough to keep that conceit up. So like, he says this time it's personal.
Brother, I'm only talking about hood people exactly as the streamer is referencing. What? Fuck them uncivilized goons.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about Jake Tapper?
No, he read this. Here's the one guy who read this and was so racist that he's like, yeah, black people do talk like this. Yeah, black people in the hood, they talk like this.
Yeah. This is what all these...
He's looking at like a 45-year-old white man who's never been around a black person. And he's like, yeah, he knows.
He's Hodge.
Yeah. How you want to carry it, Nom saying? He asked. I mean, what is with these homies dissing my pearl? Why did the old gray lady got a front? B Hatch, sneered Snoop Kitty.
Does he just think that like...
Bro, I'm telling you, like, it's not as bad as just straight up writing the N-word, but like it's close.
It's like close. It's close. It's like a similar amount of bad taste.
You're taking the long way home in basically saying the N-word at this point.
We're coming up on one of the worst sentences of all time.
From the doorway strode the impressive silhouette of senior editor Lil Coddle in full bling bling.
Like, that's not the one I'm talking
What up, shorty? Asked Snoop Kitty, her bee hatch. But Little Coddle was serious. Bust an op-ed in its ass, yo.
Oh my God, Jake, you're so creative. The op-ed is like a gun. It's like rap. Oh my God. How it like...
A few hundy miles north on 43rd Street. Hundy?
That... Yeah, no, that's popular slang, hundy. Everyone hates saying hundred.
More like Jake Rapper with his ass.
So, like...
How do you spell Hans Blix, a copy editor, inquired of Reigns? H to the Izzo.
Oh, God damn it.
Reigns began. But before he could finish, managing editor Gerald Boyd ran breathlessly to his side. Memos a-flying from his pockets. Holla at me, Reigns instructed. I can't do this. I'm done.
So bad. I
can't finish this.
He can't. He either doesn't have the frame of reference or the capacity to like formulate a full conversation. So like he'll have like one half of an idea, which is like, oh, she should say I'll bust an op-ed in their ass, or like let's do a drive-by debate. But he can't finish the idea. So his rejoinder to his initial shitty idea is just like, oh, it's another thing I've heard in rap songs.
Yeah.
Oh, whoop, there it is.
That's so good. He's a killer, dude.
It is like, remember, we've been doing the show since 2016. We've done it a very long time. We've read so many articles. None of them like upset me that much. And it's not like it's so offensive it upset me. It's just like, it is some of the worst use of language. One of the worst attempts at entertainment ever. It is just so fundamentally infuriating.
Yeah. But Zenny Jardin,
she's the GOAT.
Yeah.
This is my GOAT, you know?
Y'all who are not from Los Angeles don't understand what Nancy Pelosi's doing to Donald Trump is. She's gangsta checking him. Ask at Snoop Dogg.
Did he reply to
He's
this?
Veiling. No, of course he didn't reply.
No, I thought he would. I think he'd be like, yeah, no, you're right,
Snoop
Zenny.
Dogg.
I love how her real name is Jennifer Ham.
Wait, what? What? Her name is not Xylitol Jardin?
She gave herself this like fake Stargate name, but her real name is Jennifer Ham, which I think is so funny.
Oh my God. I mean, I knew she was white, but I didn't know it like that. Homie, what set you from? She was gangsta checking King Puig.
God.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Anyway, we got here because Ben Shapiro was talking about how the teenagers in 2003 at the same time Jake Tapper was writing it. Maybe he just read the Salon article.
Yeah, I mean, they have a similar sensibility, these two.
Yeah.
Ben and Jake.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
These are ridiculously stupid phrases popularized by criminal/thug/rapper/actor Snoop Dogg. A not insignificant amount of this book is dedicated to talking about how rap is influencing America to be more sexual. The book really does read like the transcript of a Ben Shapiro video, which is why it sucks.
Sup, biatch? Rap is an art form, more appropriate to the prison yard than the schoolyard.
Yeah, normal. He has always been the same guy, I'll tell you that much. Fun fact, Ben Shapiro almost got a writing slot on CBS's The Good Wife until someone found all the genocidal than my older brother said, and has been saying for like 20 years. Shouldn't have written about how much you hate gays and Arabs.
20 when he wrote this.
Besides, I don't even know what Ben Shapiro would have to offer a show like The Good Wife anyway. Maybe if it was called The Dry Wife, he would know a little bit more about that. He could write for that show. The Dry Wife. Listen, Disney Plus is bad and woke and communist. This has been extensively documented by the Daily Wire. So obviously Ben Shapiro's hands were tied. He had no choice but to start making the first anti-woke content for families and children. I mean, I can't think of any more meaningful political action
Has anyone seen this video
producing
before?
right-wing
Do they know?
Bluey as quickly as humanly possible and as cheaply as humanly possible.
Has anyone seen this video before? And do they know if by failing he means they're making bad content or that they're financially failing?
It's called Red, White, and Bluey, but everyone is white.
No
but
idea?
for as
Well, I guess
just
I'll go fuck
charming and
myself.
endearing as all the folks on the Daily Wire are. I mean, all your favorites are here. Michael Knowles, the 14-year-old in a trench coat on stilts, desperately trying to seem like a real adult.
Joe Biden made even more unpleasant headlines for himself over the weekend when he nuzzled the Pope. However, I found it kind of wholesome and endearing.
Matt Walsh, the guy who justifies underage pregnancy and just shows up to parent-teacher conferences with no kids. What's up? Are you guys doing woke? I'm just checking.
COVID poses almost no risk to our kids at all. 4.2 million children have tested positive for COVID. A total of 0.008% of them have died. Overall, 0.00.
You got Ben Shapiro, obviously for the sex appeal. I mean, the gang's all here, except for the one that got fired for trying to say that the Jews killed Jesus or something. She's out. She's been sacrificed to extend Dennis Prager's lifespan an extra 20 years. But you should all be thrilled to know that they are not just making awful movies like Lady Ballers and the school shooting one and the Gina Carano.
Making bad content with bad reception. Hi, hello. Thanks for watching, you guys. Big fan of you both. Okay, bye. No, I was still in the room. Sorry. I was. Don't worry. It's so sad that we both walked away. Like, we're just like, yeah, fuck this video. Felix asked what I meant by the title.
Toronto in the Prairie or whatever. But awful series is too. I'd call it television or TV, but none of this would ever be aired on television. It sucks. It's bad. I guess they're scripted episodic series streaming on your grandpa's computer. Get him on drugs or something else, anything else. And they're high quality too. They are good. No more woke Snow White. Me, Snow.
Yeah, he wants to know if his failing is in content or failing financially. That's what he meant, I think. Ethan is online.
Like me, Brett Cooper. Isn't that better? You don't want Judge Judy. She's too feminist. Now we have Judge Matt Walsh. Finally, a racist judge. And he also has the humor of a lobotomized accountant? Well, sign me up. I'd pay $1,000 for that kind of content. Don't mind that these people tried and failed to work in woke Hollywood before. It was actually the woke left that got them fired. It was definitely the woke left and not their terrible work and awful minds and souls. And of course, Hollywood's woke anyway, so they don't even want to work there, even if they did have any qualifications or skills. So the Daily Wire Plus has had a number of shows for a while, but only recently are they actually investing in shows with, similar premises to real shows versus weird documentaries that suck ass. Candace Owens investigates, what if vaccines actually give your children autism? Or if that's not up to your taste, maybe, Candace Owens investigates, what if the guy from the Netflix one is actually guilty? What if...
Candace Owens investigates what happens at the top of the hour to those who are unsubscribed. No need for an investigation. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. That's right, folks. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. This is probably one of the funniest Hasanabi heads, which is shocking. I didn't realize that someone who could be a community member for so long could also have humor in their body, in their soul. So much respect to Ethan's online. It's shocking. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way.
The criminal justice system actually works. What, you're telling me no one has that much interest in that documentary? That's weird. Now they're actually investing in sets and hiring extras, or at least having a studio audience come in to watch this nightmare. For example, Judged by Matt Walsh. Miserably unfunny. Horrible show. But they have a whole set and a bunch of people watching as a couple of Craigslist actors do what I think is improv back and forth with Matt Walsh, the least funny man in the world.
I don't want to belabor the point, but I do want to establish that this is a substance that you're injecting into your face, that you're buying from Korea, which is a place that doesn't exist, by the way, and then it's being sent to you in a language you don't speak with instructions you can't read, and you're injecting it not only into your own face, but into your friend's face.
The entire premise of the show is that Matt Walsh is a shallow, judgmental, uninformed piece of shit.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
We met through a group of content creators where sometimes we collaborate.
So this was a content creator meeting?
Like a meeting, yeah.
Meetup? Mm-hmm. Don't take this the wrong way, but I would rather be thrown into a vat of acid than go to a content creator meetup, than be surrounded by content creators.
Not if you came to
Although if I had a vat of acid, I could probably suggest they all throw themselves into it for content, and they would do it, which would solve a lot of our problems.
Damn, dude, got him. Like I get the energy. Okay, like even then, like the premise is supposed to be funny, but I mean, first of all, bro's a content creator himself. Secondly, it's just like why is he such a boomer?
Bad substitute teacher. And this show does try to do what I think they believe is humor, but it's not humor. It's humor for aliens.
Hey, let's do this, man. You make $1,700 on a video that has 19,000 views. How much money would you make on a video with 1 million views?
Cool.
I think we could say
a lot of money, I think.
A lot.
There's also Mr. Bircham, which I'm currently caught up on, unfortunately. It's animated in Spain for $13, and you can tell. The show is about a woodshop teacher who's
Actually
real
not
conservative in this
Spain.
crazy...
If anyone heard our Mr. Bircham episode, Ben Clarkson, the very talented animator we worked with on a bunch of things, did some extensive research. I think it's actually animated in a Baltic nation.
Yeah, dude, own that fraud. Ethan is online with your bullshit investigative reporting. He's in the chat right now.
No, I don't think that's like a major error.
No, own him. Own him for his...
I think the video is good. I just...
Own him for
I
his...
make mistakes like
own him
that
for his
too.
lack of journalistic integrity.
I wanted to tout our own original reporting that someone else did that I didn't do.
Yeah, that's right, dude. That's right. 47 month subscriber. Ethan is online. He's a fan of yours as well.
Thank you, Ethan.
Woke liberal world. Yeah, it's a terrible premise. It's so unfunny. And it's made by a guy who is almost exactly the kind of person he is constantly whining about. That's you, Adam Carolla. That's you. I like how the intro is so similar to King of the Hills.
Good point. I didn't realize that's what Adam looks like now.
The show is a lot like King of the Hill if every character was a miserable, unlikable, bitter conservative.
¿Dónde está el baño?
No speaking Spanish in my class.
The show can't engage in satire because it's made by people who are really sensitive to being the butt of the joke. I mean, that's why they made this show. Finally, it's conservatives' time to make fun of everyone else.
No phones in the wood shop.
But this is an emergency. There is a cat dabbing on TikTok.
Now there's a cat drowning in a sawdust bin. Fish it out after class.
I think the Daily Wire greatly overestimated the appeal of...
in 2024.
Yeah, that's what,
awesome.
That's what lip cars like.
Yeah.
Cats dabbing.
Yeah. Hey, you stupid bitch. You can't go to you'rethemannowdog.com anymore. Try going to E-Bombs World now on your Nokia N-Gage, you bitch. Damn, also, Adam, you roasted them.
Also, where the f is the joke? Like, where is the joke? Like, is the joke that like the stupid liberal is looking at the cat dabbing? Is that supposed to be the joke?
Yeah. This is because like this is an endemic problem with like shows like Mr. Bircham and this though. There's never just one joke. There's always 3 jokes, and like great animated shows like Primary Simpson, they would do this a lot where there's like a multi-layered joke, right? Where something's working on 2 or 3 levels. It's very quick, very witty. You know, maybe when you're a kid, when you watch, you don't catch it the first time around, but you catch it later. But my point is, there's a very efficient economy of speech and actions in the joke to accomplish that. Whereas with a show like Mr. Bircham or The New Norm or really anything like this, whether it's conservative or not, they can't decide on what the hook should be for an individual scene. So they'll have like a bunch of ideas, and the ideas are, we should make fun of how kids say that they need phones for emergencies, but they're just watching TikTok all day. Or, I have this really good joke. What if a cat dabbed? Or what? Wait, what if threw the phone in sawdust? And
that's what I mean.
All those ideas are great. Let's do all of them, but they all suck, and they all suck more than the one that came before them.
That's supposed to be the punchline. The punchline is him throwing the phone in the sawdust. Like, that's not, like, what?
But it's like, that's what you have when you have, like, a writer's room of people who either, like, you know...
Car crash victims,
people who, like, got drummed out of minor league baseball for threatening to kill Obama, failed Hollywood writers. Just, like,
the typical people you would imagine, right, for a show like this, none of them can say no to each other because they all suck. None of them have good ideas. So every idea is great, and we have to go with every idea in this 22-minute long show. So every micro scene or little cutaway joke is a car crash of 7 terrible jokes.
Of doing the funny gay voice in 2024.
This is a smart saw.
This is a stupid store. Who's in charge here? Where's the manager?
Ew, we don't have a manager. All team members are equals. Plus, manager has the word man in it, and we prefer gender neutral. Or womanager, but that's kind of hard to say and disrespectful to the dyslexia community, okay?
It's not like they actually write any jokes for the actor to say in that voice. Or any jokes at all, really. Mr. Bertram is a wonderful, feverish window into the parent.
Oh, gross. Oh my God. He said manager has the word man in it.
It's like, who has
liberals are actually hysterical. Like, there are so many things you can make fun of. What the is happening?
Yeah, like, people always use the example of like Mike Judge as someone who like leans right but makes really good stuff, right? And it's like, I think about how Mike Judge wrote that character, basically, like the annoying guidance counselor liberal guy in like 1992, and he was a funny character because he was like tethered to reality in at least some tangible way. This is like, no one has ever said this shit. No one will ever say this shit. This is just sitting around imagining things to get mad at and then being like, they're assholes for doing this. It makes me sick. There's not even a joke.
But it's so, like you said, untethered from reality that like, who the goes, well, that's relatable because I've encountered that in the real world. Like, you haven't.
No, right. It's
just like not a thing that has ever happened in the history. It's not even like absurdist comedy though, because it's just like, it only makes sense as a reference if like that is how you have hallucinated liberals in your mind.
Yeah. There's just like, I mean, here's another problem. This is a classic entertainment problem, but that, you know, many of us deal with. But you know, the longer that you work in entertainment and in any sort of, with any type of like self-sufficiency where you are capable of having it be your only income, the longer that you do it, the more divorced from like a normal life that you get, and the further away those memories of like working for a wage and things like that become. And it can get more difficult to like write jokes or come up with ideas that sort of hinge on a normal relationship to reality. It's definitely not impossible. There are people who have been very successful for a really long time and are able to do that. But when no one involved in the product, like with Mr. Bertram, has any frame of reference to any tangible real life experience that anyone's had.
Like, go outside, encounter people before you write shit like this.
Where it's all people who have only existed in the conservative think tank environment, or like a guy who was in entertainment 20 years ago and hasn't done anything since the first Obama administration, then like they don't have enough of a grip on reality or day-to-day life or what working a job is like for there to be any like appreciable texture or friction or gravity to any of it.
It's just like, it's so far removed from reality that I don't even think this is something that you see in the broader internet.
No, yeah.
Like even if you're like a shut-in, okay, devoid of any sort of human contact, this is not a thing that you have seen on the internet unless like your feed is exclusively like Bill Maher and that's like the furthest most like liberal you go to. And it's him making fun of those people as well, the imaginary grievances.
There are like tons of like funny, stupid, rad lib things out there, right? But they're all like, none of them are like this. Exactly. It's not like this. It's actually way funnier than this.
This world of conservative millionaires, the most out of touch individuals imaginable are finally given a platform to vent about their stupid fake grievances. Look how many people we can animate nodding and clapping, even though it looks like shit. Mr. Bertram is a character Adam Carolla has been trying to make work for a long time. There was even an animated pilot for the whole show in 2011.
Now, Mr. Bertram, I know you know Carver is a...
Wait, this was like significantly better drawn. In 2011.
Animation used to look a lot better. I'll tell you that.
That's crazy.
Not free zone.
Am I the only one who sees the irony in
so much better?
Yeah, what the this like actually legible?
Animation looked way better before like the mega trend of sort of Rick and Morty and Brickleberry knockoffs. I'm not saying Rick and Morty is bad. I haven't seen enough of it to tell you one way or the other. I don't think it's bad. Probably isn't. But like it engendered a style of animation that became very popular and very cheap.
Eating peanut butter at a school named after the guy who invented peanut butter?
Actually, he didn't invent peanut butter.
I'm pretty sure the guy who dedicated his entire life to mashing peanuts invented peanut butter, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's virtually the exact same thing, except with a much more contemporary 2011 grievance. Nut allergies, am I right? What is up with that? Now it's just, nut allergies are woke. Still not a great premise. Still stupid, but at least it looked a little better. I mean, at least more reminiscent of what it was trying to imitate. Now it's like a blend of Family Guy and Big Mouth and shit that is from a butt. Another show the Daily Wire is currently producing is called The Pendragon Cycle. It's based on a novel of the same name about the story of King Arthur, written by a very Christian author.
What's The Pendragon Cycle generally about? I have never heard of this series, but I'm excited to watch. It is
crazy outfit
about Arthur Pendragon, ultimately, although we don't meet Arthur in the
Don't be jealous that Jeremy Boring has swag.
Yeah,
dude.
Jeremy Boring is dripped out in Balenciaga.
Dude, what is he? Why is he wearing a t-shirt?
That's a crazy outfit. This is like what every rapper who is on trial in the mid 90s wore to court.
Like he's wearing he's wearing a three-piece with a t-shirt, bro. What the take the second piece off at least.
He's wearing the Elden Ring. He robbed Mesmer the Impaler.
Oh, also speaking of Elden Ring, have you been playing the DLC?
I have.
Where have you gone?
I'm like, so I fucked up this playthrough, I think, because I fucked up the quest lines. I went to I killed Rolana was the first boss I killed, and then I accidentally went to Shadowkeep and then fucked up a bunch of quests. Then I did Bellarat. So I basically did everything out of order. But I just yesterday finally went through Shadowkeep. I've killed the lion.
I'm in Shadowkeep. I haven't been able to kill the lion yet. That's my first boss too. I did like a mini boss and I clapped him. It was like human Black Knight Goal or whatever. And everyone was like, oh, this is such a hard boss. This is a hard boss. And it was like pretty easy. So I was like, oh, dude, I got this. And then I got to the castle and the lion has been cooking my ass.
Tough. What kind of build do you have?
I have a dex build. I'm still rocking my late game mainline. I'm in Bellarat, not Shadowkeep. Sorry. Wait, there's another lion. There's a.
It's a hippo. Sorry. The lion is in Bellarat. The hippo is in Shadowkeep.
Oh, I've seen the hippo on my TikTok timeline.
The lion. Okay, so the lion I found a little annoying, but if I remember right, I used the Milady, whatever you call it.
Oh, you got Milady before you got to the lion?
Yeah. No, I did everything in a really fucked up order. I don't know. They made it really easy for you to accidentally fuck up the quest by going into Shadowkeep.
Classic From Software though.
Yeah. I have my Dex Int build ready to go in the DLC, and I'm gonna try to do it more in the right order with that one. But I will say with the lion, Morgoth's Cursed Curve Sword really helped me there. I don't know how high your arcane is, but if I remember right with Morgoth's Cursed Curve Sword, it is a super high dex requirement, and it has a decently high arcane requirement, but not crazy.
It's a better Rivers of Blood, really?
It's so good. It's such a good weapon.
I'm sure I have it.
Morgoth's Curse. It's the only reason I was able to beat Millennia the first time.
I went in last night and went and got bell bearings or ball bearings, whatever the they're called, so that I could get smithing stones that I could purchase. So I did two main original game dungeons to just go and get those. And then I upgraded my backhanded blades.
Those are so good.
Yeah, I like the weapon art on it because it makes you do a L-shaped sidestep. So I was gonna try and use them on the lion guy.
I would say your best friend with the lion guy is speed. That's what really helped me. The hippo, that thing, I have not beat it without summons. I don't know if I ever will. That goddamn thing. That is just, I don't know. My opinion on Rolana has softened. The first time after I tried her, I was like, that's bullshit. She doesn't have enough openings. I think I was like a little too reactive on that. She's easier to stagger than I initially thought. I was just using like really small weapons, but the hippo is bullshit. I hate that.
Yeah. Are you playing NG Plus or are you?
I'm on NG +1 with my Dex and Faith character. I'm gonna try. I don't really think it matters because of the scatter tree. Like I've found a bunch of those. I really don't feel like it's that much worse. I'm gonna give it a shot with my character who isn't on NG +1 or 2. But I don't think it's that big of a difference.
People keep saying I don't have enough like pots either. I have like 11 health, I have 13 total, I think. But that's how many can you have?
Oh, you can have 15.
Oh, how the fuck did I not get?
There's so much shit you can miss in that game.
Yeah, I thought I had.
Oh wait, no, yeah, you're right. It's 14. It's 14.
Did chat know that Skidoo is pronounced shadow? No, just don't get hit.
Martial arts is super fun.
Yeah.
Ancient Dragon lightning. That's a good point. I was just afraid to cast like a huge like AoE because the hippo just eats you up if you're stationary at all. I felt like that is a pretty good idea. I guess I could try that on my Strength Faith guy too. I beat Millennia with that guy. So
in my level 150 build, I ended up with 60 Dex and 35 Arcane. That gave me 639 attack rating and 73 blood loss buildup. If I just pumped Dexterity up to 78 and left Arcane at 17, I would have 644 attack rating, but only 62 blood loss buildup. 60 Dex and 35 Arcane was more than enough with this sword's fast moveset to slap down every enemy within a few minutes, even on max New Game Plus. Now we need to talk about the Ash of War.
It's awesome. It's so good. The moveset's crazy. It staggers everyone. With Millennia, I broke her posture just like on command. I've like since beaten Millennia with different builds, different characters, and different weapons, but like I didn't think it was possible until I tried with this. This one's crazy.
Cursed Blood Slice. You are absolutely going to run Shard of Alexander on this build and use the Ash of War at every opportunity that it allows. An L2 press has you charge your enemy down with a wound up slice of your sword that carries a set of big bloody flaming explosions. If you have enough time, you can chain it with a follow-up attack or more big bloody flaming explosions.
It's so worth it.
Get Blood Fiend's arm. Broken DLC weapon has like 200 blood loss when you scale Arcane. I want to try it.
I haven't tried Blood Fiend's arm. That's a colossal weapon, right?
I want to. Fuck. We have shit that we need to. I have shit that was lined up for you to watch, but I really want to play Elden Ring.
I understand. I
mean, I'm at 1,738 attack with the Rakasha's Great Katana, Rakasha armor, and level 50 Skidoo.
I'm about to go to.
The Great Katana is the one I want to get. Yeah, but that's like late. That's like later in the DLC.
There are 2 Great Katanas you can find like the moment you get there, but Rakasha's you need to like work your way through Shadowkeep a little bit.
Surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Ice Poseidon gets caught.
Listen, dude, if you are still following around Ice Poseidon in 2022, you gotta be an idiot.
$300,000 from a crypto rug pull scam.
I don't think he regrets anything or feels bad about any of this.
It's not a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. Okay, I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know, dude. I might be on Terminal 5. I don't know where I am. I'm just on 53A. That's my gate. And I'm not sure telling you guys that is a good idea, but what can you possibly do, right?
The news, Phoenix police searching an American Airlines plane at Sky Harbor. Police say an anonymous threat was called in. That threat wound up being not credible.
Only ABC 15's John Erickson in the terminal with those relieved passengers denied.
Paul Denino.
Passengers on that American Airlines flight from Los Angeles say that after they landed here, police surrounding the plane.
In an ABC 15 exclusive, the guy taking off the flight at Sky Harbor says he was the victim of a prank bomb threat against that plane.
I just can't help but feel really bad for all those people.
Paul Denino, otherwise known to his chat as Ice Poseidon, spent years garnering a reputation of being swatted by his own fan base. Day after day, publicizing every avenue of his personal life, cultivating a community of bad actors whose behavior at times bordered on criminal. To his credit, letting his viewers call the shots not only proved itself wildly entertaining, but wound up being especially profitable too. At the end of the day, it's only content, right? Well, I want to know how we got from here to Paul scamming his fans out of $500,000. Something we've all done. Join me as we analyze the chaotic but inevitable downfall of a streaming icon. This is the story of Ice Poseidon.
Okay, all I want to do is just stream. It's not worth it because nobody understands. It makes my job so much more difficult.
But first, today's sponsor, who happens to not be a fraudulent crypto scheme, Bespoke Post. Bespoke is a monthly membership club that delivers awesome boxes of top-shelf goods from under-the-radar brands. Take, for example, the Terra box, made by Barebones, which is stationed in Salt Lake City. With 90% of their products coming straight from small businesses, every box comes with around $70 in retail value at the cost of just $49. You'll get to preview everything in your box before it even ships, which means you can either keep it, swap it for a different box, or skip that month entirely. So although it's a subscription service, you only pay for what you want. This month I chose Over Easy, which is great because now I have no excuse not to cook in the mornings. Equipped with the most durable cast iron skillet from Old Mountain, a leather holder from Softline, and even a Bloody Mary mix from Sucker Punch Gourmet, which all go great with the platter I got from their plated box. In addition to the custom crafted serving platter, the plated box comes with a rugged salt dispenser and a minimalist kitchen towel, so you'll be ready to host your next holiday dinner. Get 20% off your first box by clicking the link down below and using Jawbreak20 at checkout. Massive thanks again to Bespoke Post for helping out with this video.
Cryptocurrency and scams. Today, a once massive streamer was exposed for stealing $500,000 from his fans.
I'll be honest, in my opinion, Ice Poseidon is not a good person.
So, what kind of kid were you, or what did you do before this whole streaming thing? What led up to this?
Paul Denino was born in Palm Beach, Florida on September 29th, 1994. His father, a plasma technician, and his mother, a mental health administrator, who went on to describe her son in 2018 as a shy kid who acted out to make friends, which may have only isolated him even further. Growing up in the gated community of Martin County, Paul was a self-described
weird motherfucker growing up.
After finishing off high school and getting a 2-year associate's degree, Paul went on to work as both a kitchen manager and a line cook for several years.
Streaming is definitely not worse than being a line cook, but it's definitely more stressful.
So when somebody throws up a plate that's part of like a 4-plate order, and then you're wondering where like some big piece of meat is, it takes 10 minutes to cook, and you find out that the guy running grill didn't put it on, and the entire order is going to be or that plate is going to be and you got to decide what you want to put in the window and what you want to the window people about, because you know they're going to give you shit. And when you're trying to run every other ticket coming in to make sure that you don't fall behind, like all of this is less stressful than playing video games and talking to a stream chat.
It's more, all right, how do I put that?
But despite everything, he just wasn't happy.
Really boring. I didn't do anything. I just went home after